Rolling on down, turning the power on.
Power Tracks is brought to you by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy truck.
See the lightning, hear the thunder roll.
And welcome to Power Tracks, where tonight it's the modified two-wheel drives and Army Armstrong. The Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series winter season is winding down. And we've got guys like Wayne Roush and Mike Stowe neck and neck in the point standings and others chasing them.
Well, you're going to hear the name Roush, Stowe, Lamont's heavy into this thing. We got some new pullers up in the points. They're not new pullers to the sport, but the Walsh brothers have found a combination. Jim Lyons comes out of the box of Louisville, Kentucky with a brand new truck combination. He's going to be tough. It's going to be good tonight.
So as you can see, it's kind of a who's who in the two-wheel drive division right here. And coming your way next on Power Tracks. Greensboro Colliseum in North Carolina, where you are about to see the Major League of Professional Truck and Tractor Pulling. Tonight, it's a super modified two-wheel drive competition, Army. A beautiful crowd on hand, and they are going to be seeing the superstars of the sport.
Well, the super crowd are going to be seeing the superstars, like you say. The crowd is really getting excited about it, Richard. The super modified two-wheel drive, best in the sport, coming your way right now.
Now, I know you're down trackside. Tell us about track condition.
Well, the track looks real good. All the drivers are satisfied with it. It'll be 145 feet in length. They're adjusting the sled now as we get ready to start with the super mod two-wheel drive category.
Now, our first puller coming out is the current leader in the winter national points race on this Redman TNT circuit. We are talking about Wayne Roush in the little red truck. It's a Dodge product powered by a KB Vinny Dodge Hemi engine.
Well, Roush definitely believes in the Chrysler horsepower. This is the latest update version. Basically, if you were to go to a drag race, you would see the same engine in a double B funny car, Richard. It runs on a methanol for fuel, but it will make a whole lot of horsepower on a 145 track. Let's see what he can do. Rolls the horsepower good. Now it settles down, and it goes up again. It's a driver's track, Richard. A driver's track. They're going to have to muscle him out.
He's close to a full pull, but not quite there. 142.52, and as you said, a full pull distance tonight is going to be 145 feet. Next to the line will be a veteran but a youngster. He's 23 years old, but he's been a professional puller for over 5 years. That is Mark Miller, the Mini Brute Chevrolet out of Little Plymouth, Virginia.
You know, one of our earlier shows, you referred to his uncle that travels the circuit with him. If you had another father, you'd like to have a father like him. If I had my son grow up, I'd like to have him be like Mark Miller. He's a class young man, but right now, all the dice on the table. Let's see what's going to happen. He rolls a little bit lighter than the nose. That's going to cost him some distance, but it comes back. It brought it right back for a full pull.
Didn't cost him an inch. As a matter of fact, he took it the length of full pull over 145 feet. For Mark Miller, the track worked good for
Mark,
him.
everybody was talking about the bite, saying it wasn't there. You tried a whole new ball game. You came out and nailed the throttle and got on top of the clay. It looked like it really worked well for you.
Well, I run a faster gear than what I would on a normal track, and I had to get on it quick with load the motor too heavy, and I put an awful lot of weight on the back end, and I just lucked out when I got about the last 20 foot. I thought to stop. She hit some good ground and just gave me enough to lunge out the end.
So the key phrase there as we see the end of that full pull by Mark Miller is weight. He put the weight, most of it, Army, he said on the back of the truck. That could be the key to winning tonight.
Richard, it definitely could be. Remember, the rest of the drivers will be watching his pull.
Now, our next puller coming out is Jim Lyons out of Louisville, Kentucky. It is called the Stitches, also GMC. It is a brand new truck. And earlier today, Army spent time with Jim in that beautiful machine.
Can you tell us a little bit about the new truck in comparison to the other truck you've been running?
Army, I don't know, maybe it was a mistake to go with a new truck, but, you know, you got to progress, you got to go along with progress and get everything looking good and have the new tubular chassis, have them light. And the new chassis has changed my whole deal around, and I haven't found the right combination for the chassis. We've tried all kinds of gear ratios. The motor's the same as we run in the old two-wheeler, which was probably one of the best two-wheelers in the country. But we've changed everything around on this truck, and we're getting there, but it's going to take a while. There's a lot of things got to be changed on this truck, because we changed the chassis. A friend of mine made a deal with me to build a chassis if I would help him on his tractor motors, but there's some problems in the truck, and we've got to find them.
Well, let's see if the 5-time national champion, Jim Lyons, can find what the problems are and solve them on this 145-foot-long track, Army.
Only GMC in the field. Let's see what's going to happen. Not going to work for Lyons. The problem he's been talking about is a lot of chassis flex. He's not able to stick the horsepower on the track. Chassis flexing on him is costing him some distance. Only what, Richard? About a 138?
138.03. Everyone is chasing Mark Miller's full distance right now. When we come back, it'll be the 3 H's pulling as Power Tracks continues on ESPN. Man, TNT Motorsports All-American Pulling Series. Tonight, we're in Greensboro, North Carolina for the Super Modified 2-Wheel Drive competition. Already, we have seen Mark Miller in a Chevrolet take it the length of a track, a full pull over 145 feet. Out next is a Ford product. This is Art Hathaway. He calls his truck the Honkin' Donkey. He's out of Washington, Pennsylvania, and he is a dandy.
Well, Richard, Chevrolet showed that it could be done. However, the weight was so very critical. Miller told us about that in the interview. What we're watching is for the track consistency, and it looks like it's going to be a driver track. If you notice, the vehicle is starting to power. Now it settles, power settles. Okay, what that's an indication of, the track is biting and letting go. The horsepower is there. The track's just not holding it, Richard.
And it's reflected in his distance, only 135.16 for Art Hathaway and the Honkin' Donkey.
Art, what do you do in a situation like this, other than sit there and smile like you're doing?
I don't know. As soon as I give it too much, or that's when it drops.
Yeah, when you had some good ground speed, it looked like you had it going, and then, bam, it just went away on you. It broke loose, and the front end settled back down. You were just kind of sitting out in the middle of no man's land.
That's right. It felt good. It felt like it was going, but then it just all of a sudden dropped, and then after that, I was on and off the throttle, and it's bad.
What is the problem with the track tonight?
Well, I think it's just bad, slippery. You know, I had more weight on the back than I've ever had.
So a greasy track, according to Art Hathaway, as we get ready next for another youngster with a heck of a lot of experience. 27-year-old Mark HAERR, 12 years a professional puller. He is driving the Jack Daniels Mark HAERR Springfield, Ohio machine.
You know, Richard, it's kind of interesting what the Humpco chassis driver and a honky donkey just said a moment ago. Everybody's hanging all the weight on the rear. Now, this truck comes out, you notice, you can see there's no weight on the front. The Chrysler engine comes up the front end, starts to rise a little bit, but we've never had, oh, looky here. He's out of here. He figured it out.
Hot dang, as he may say, a full pull for Mark HAERR. Takes it the length of the track. So obviously, Mark HAERR not having problem with the track. You heard Art Hathaway say the track was too greasy and going away. But you just saw Mark HAERR take it the full length.
Mark, everybody's complaining about the track, but the two fellas that have made a full pull, you and the Mini Brute, have done the same thing. You came out and just pulled a trigger on, just like it was a hard biting track, and it worked for you.
Well, we probably both took a little weight off the front end, maybe more so than the other fellas, and I don't know, it's just so greasy on top. You just can't hardly get into it. We're running extremely light from normal, so, you know, it's just whoever can get their weight right and get a hold of that track somehow. I mean, it's tough to get a hold of.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Can the Jack Daniels Dodge beat the Chevrolet tonight?
Well, it's a Jack Daniels S10 with a Dodge motor. We're here to win. We're not done until it's over.
I like the attitude of Mark HAERR. He is going to be in a pull-off already with Mark Miller, maybe some more in that Jack Daniels machine. You know, Mark has been involved in pulling since 1964 when his dad used to run tractors. Then he teamed up with the Humphrey team in 1986, and here's Army to tell you about it.
Bill and Mark Humphrey out of Ohio have a new concept in the sport of pulling. They're going head-to-head with themselves. What they've done is for years have designed and built premier chassis that have run all over the country. They're pulling their horns in. They're putting all their energy and efforts into your own two-truck combination. Now, Mark, why the two identical trucks that actually compete against each other?
Well, we like to do good with both trucks, of course. But the first truck we run, we do the best we can to match our truck to the track. And when any adjustments we make, we try to do that on the second truck to get the best run.
Why did you pick Mark HAERR to drive these vehicles?
Well, about 8 years ago, we built a tractor for Mark. It was an Allison-powered aircraft tractor, and we saw what he'd done with it. He done real good, and we was real happy with how he handled that, and we just thought we'd put him on and be our driver.
Mark, driving the vehicles, everything looks the same. We've walked around and tried to find difference and can't do it. Is there a sensation difference in driving the two vehicles?
No, not really, Army. They're, for two vehicles built identical, they're really close running together, you know. We've tried a little things different with one truck or the other, you know, to see if it'd work and beat the other truck. But really, basically, they run real close to the same. They handle the same. And, you know, it's just, they're real close to being alike.
So Mark here is going to be in a pull-off. Is he going to be joined by anyone else? Well, from one of the younger pullers on the circuit to one of the older, and I don't mean he's an old man either, but he's a veteran. John HILEMAN is driving the Sultan. It is out of Rockford, Ohio.
Rockford, Ohio native comes to the sled knowing it can be done. The question is, does he have his weight right to do it? Bob Seeger's got a song out about it, Richard, called Making Thunderbirds. Let's see what he can do. Rolls into the throttle. Boy, just not going to work for him. Not going to work for him at all.
You're going to see it reflected on his distance, 134.71 for John HILEMAN and the Sultan Ford Thunderbird out of Rockford, Ohio. So that is not the pulling distance he wanted. But we've got the superstars of the sport. We're talking about your top three, the national point standing still ahead. RAUSCH, Lamont, also Dan Walsh and Mike Stowe. The points leader on this Red Man TNT Motorsports All-American Pulling Series circuit, it is the veteran Wayne RAUSCH, the yellow Model T out of Dublin, Ohio. You know, Army, in 1988, Wayne won 23 events on the circuit, and that says a lot as to why he is the current national leader on this winter point circuit.
Well, everybody that follows the sport knows the story about RAUSCH. He was a college professor. He left that profession